How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
I actually made notes for today, so I'm totally prepared.
Ooh, I've got a surprise for you. So I'm gonna.
Yippee! Pencils?
No,
Not yet.
no. Give me a second, yeah. So today it's just Rentia and myself, but we've got a surprise visitor today.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting for them to join up with us. And yeah, I think we had quite a good turnout this week for the people on the challenge.
Yes, Graham, and I'm getting very good feedback as well. They're actually having a lot of fun, and it's a challenge, and many people are joining in.
Yeah, well, on the stats, we're picking up between 50 and 90 people a day.
Just see, that's fantastic, and it's growing by the minute.
Yes, yes. Well, I'm trying to get schools involved now. I'm forwarding it on to our teachers. So yeah, you know, if we can get those kind of communities involved in this, it's going to be quite cool.
I know, that's great. We must just get the dates right. Yeah, that's the only glitch in the system at this stage.
No, I got the date right. I don't know what the story was. What did I say? The 5th?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, I put a lot of time into this, so sometimes it gets a bit confusing.
It's a bit overwhelmed. I know, and it takes up a lot of one's time, but I'm sure it's going to be very fruitful for you.
No, it will. It will. We just need to get out over there. Here's our guest.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Ina. Can you hear us?
Yes.
How are you?
Hi.
Hallo.
Hoe gaan dit met jou?
Goed, dankie en jy.
Goed, dis 'n surprise.
Ek hoop dit is 'n goeie surprise.
Altyd 'n goeie surprise.
Dankie.
So our celebrity challenge number 2 is going to have Ina as our guest. So because we did our watercolor challenge for this challenge 155 and we had a bit of a shortage on our admins today, I thought let us invite Ina to chat to us about what she's seen with the watercolors and yeah, give her input to us.
Wonderful, great idea. Okay, thank you. You know, I'm a little bit technologically challenged, but I look on my phone on Facebook, and I really thought it was a fantastic challenge. It was awesome. You know, I love that there were so many different ones, and I think that they really handled the watercolors very well. I mean, you know, in terms of watercolor technique, I mean, I think like Rentia's was the best, but I don't like that painting the most, you know. I actually like Lois's the most. I think it was fantastic because she managed to do soft and hard and soft colors and then very strong colors. So she really managed to get the true watercolor feel of a thing, you know, and it was striking and beautiful and soft. And it really did have that wow factor, even though it was soft watercolors, which I really loved, you know. But there were a lot of nice ones, you know.
I agree. Oh wow.
What I find interesting is that you know, everyone kind of chose a different type of protea. Some whole bunches, some in vases, some by themselves, and also various colors of the proteas as well.
Yeah, very original colors.
Okay, so there was basically our first one for the day.
Yes, Maritron is also a well-known watercolorist, and she does beautiful art. And I have to say, I do like her composition, nice colors, and very successful. I think it came out beautifully.
That was a very nice one. That was our first entry for the day. This looks like pencil to me.
Yeah, my watercolor pencil done with water, but it can be watercolor as well. I actually thought it was watercolor. Also very minimalistic. Who's that? Who's the artist?
Sorry, give me a second. Charlotte Smith.
Sharon, I think it's really, really very nice, soft and gentle. Maybe watercolor pencil, maybe, I don't know.
Oh, and there's Rentia's one. I see on your profile you did about, I think, 10 Proteas. How many did you do?
No, I did 6.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to choose the nicest one.
Okay.
And so yeah, so it was a good exercise for me.
But I see a whole bunch of them also in different styles as well.
Yeah, they're all watercolor, but you know what I actually did is on aqua board, which is very nice. It's like a clay surface. It's quite expensive to work on, but it takes the watercolor. I don't know if Ina knows it.
Yeah, it's lovely.
You like it?
Yes, I do.
Very nice. Nice to try.
Oh, there's Mr. Craig Banks's watercolor. That was his first attempt at watercolor.
Excellent.
Totally bowled over. And you know what? It's such a sensitive little artwork for a man. You know, if you look at that, you can't believe how sensitive he put the colors down, but sure, very successful. I hope he keeps on at it because he's got a flair for it, definitely.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
Who was the lady you were talking about, Ina? Ina mentioned somebody who's done quite a lot of progress.
Lois Fisher. I really loved hers.
We'll get to hers. That's the one with the most votes at the moment. So it's a very successful one.
Which one's that?
Keep on going. It's also my favorite. The big Protea with the green leaves.
Yes, it does have the most likes so far. I'm actually looking at these while we're going through. It's 40, 51. This is Lauren Banks is Craig's wife, and she
very first,
she also took
first
part.
One.
Yes, you know, this is quite cool that families are now starting to take part in the challenges as well.
Okay. These sitas, I also noticed there's, I love the lights and the darks, the contrast, and then the translucency of the watercolor. Very successful.
Very successful. You know, she really did manage to do dark and light, and she left some of the paper open, which you're supposed to do in watercolor, you know. And most of us don't do that because we want to be in control all the time, you know. And I think that's a very successful one.
I also just want to mention that she's a newcomer at watercolor. I think she's been doing watercolor for maybe 2 years. So I think that is just so successful.
Very much so.
Is this one of our finalists for this competition?
No.
Okay, well, I'm picking it as one of my finalists. We can go over it in the end. There's Lewis.
Okay, there's Lois's one.
Yes.
But you know, Lois hasn't been doing watercolors for a long time either. Not at all. She's really an
wow. Wow, that's my favorite. Right from the start. Translucent, contrasts, color, play of color. I just think, look at the you know, these hard and soft edges. Oh, it's just so gorgeous.
Look at those pinks, you know, how beautifully soft, and they've got yellows and pinks and blues and greens all in the pink color, and yet you read it as pink, you know, which is so successful. Yes. And in her leaf, it's not just one green, you know, it's like light green and dark green. I think it was very successful.
Beautiful.
Cool. Trudy Buerta,
Trudy, yeah, very original colors. The palette is totally this world, nice and loose, and I love the technique. Also new at watercolor.
The beautiful composition as well, you know. And she really did manage to leave white paper and still make it look striking, you know. Very nice.
Estelle Marie van Deventer.
Very simple, but sure, so striking. Beautiful composition. It needs a bit of green, though. I would have added
a little bit of background. You know, it's a cop out to not do background. You know, it's easier to not do background.
True. I must remember that.
Karine Forbes.
That's another favorite. I think she's also got some of the most likes.
Yes.
Sure, her work is phenomenal. Hey, look at the detail in there.
Yeah, and you can actually see the veins in the leaves as well.
Sure, beautiful, beautiful art.
This was interesting. So this is Arlene's granddaughter who got part of the competition as well.
So beautiful. Definitely an artist in the making, eh?
Again, like I said, you know, the guys are starting to get their family and their friends and everyone to compete, will take part of the challenges as well.
That's nice.
Leanne van Deventer.
Strong painting.
This was quite nice for me as well. Julia Hammond.
Yes, I also like it.
Nice colors, eh?
And it's different, offset to the one side and just one. I like it.
Okay.
It's just, you know what, I just find that the moment you have something coming out of a corner, it tends to pull your eye into that corner. You know, that's just I feel. It's just, it's always difficult when it comes in, whether it's a branch or a trunk coming out of a corner of a painting. It just tends to pull your eye in. That's just what
it does, yeah. But she's managed with that dark behind it, just above her signature, you know, to offset that. So she's done, you know, she's counterbalanced it quite nice.
Oh, that was also, oh, Margie's. Isn't that beautiful?
That's lovely. Very nice.
Soft in there, yes.
And you know, she's a very competent oil artist, and she's now just doing watercolors, although she also started in watercolors, like I did many years ago, and now she's doing only watercolors, and she stopped doing all the other art. It's interesting. Yeah,
that's lovely. A lot of pencil work in there as well, you know?
Nice, yeah, nice.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. I just thought it's almost an abstract, and she just let it go. You know, you can see there's absolutely no control, and I think that's what watercolors are supposed to do.
Is this the one of Erna's that you're talking about?
Yes,
one, yeah.
Yes.
It is lovely.
Abigail Shaw.
So much detail.
And I find it a bit stiff though, that previous one that you said so much detail. You know, it's like right in the middle, yeah, that one, right in the middle of the page, and it's cut off, and it's all, you know, even the distances all around the edges. Yeah.
Yes.
Lisa Berger.
That was also, what did I like about, I love the composition. I just thought, you know, the fact that it's coming over to the left side of the paper, hanging down, almost an abstract feel to that. Very nice, very original.
And soft and very nice.
Josephine Donnelly.
Oh, Joseph, yeah, he's also participating. I take my hat off to him. I don't think he's a watercolorist, but I mean, he's giving it a go, and it's just so admirable, hey? Everyone's trying watercolor. I think there's this really, we're pushing some life into watercolor at the moment.
This is Ella Marai.
I loved, you know, this was, you know what I like this is with the background leaves. I just thought that looks just so nice, pushing softly.
I agree that she managed to get that distance by painting softly and lightly. Very nicely done. Yeah.
You know, and you know what I also find is that the moment that they balanced all the warm with the cool, then it makes for a very successful painting, because you have to be so careful to just push the heat and don't bring a bit of cool colors in as well. Don't you agree?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But to me, the most important is the tonal values, you know, to get the dark
Yes.
and the light and the, like
Yes.
this, you see, there's all the same tones, you know, there's only the
Yes.
stem that's dark. So
Yes.
it's a pity she didn't get the darks in some of the
Pity.
petals and the
Yes.
leaves.
Wow.
Yeah.
So maybe a good idea to take a photo and make it a black and white before you submit your entry, so that you can see whether you've reached your lights and whether you've pushed your dogs.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Priscilla that we were talking about. You know, the thing is with she's such a master at miniatures. But now the thing with miniatures is that in a miniature you have to paint every leaf. You can't do nice loose things like you are good at, for example. So unfortunately, you know, when she does a bigger painting, she also does all those every little detail, which could have, some of it would have been nice if it was smooshed in or softer or something, you know. That's just all I feel. It's very, very well done.
So beautiful. Look at those leaves, each and every little one. Yeah, you know, just maybe put a bit of water down and let it do its own thing.
Let it run, yes.
Yeah, a little happy painting. That's also lovely.
Lovely,
also be careful, you know, when you add a bird or anything else. So which would you say is the focal point? So just be careful.
The bird,
yes, that you don't lose your focal point the moment you bring in a person or a bird or something else.
Such a lovely protea though, hey?
It is lovely, and I love the contrasting colors with the purple reds, with the greens and the blues. That's lovely, nice and luscious. You know, it's just a good idea to bring in, to say, okay, I've got this peachy red, let me bring in a bit of, you know, soft pinks, or maybe a bit of purple, or even dark red, or alizarin crimson, just for a bit of variety. Because if you look in nature, you look at three proteas, they will never ever have exactly the same colors. You will always get a little bit of variety.
And the leaves as well.
The green, you need the green in there.
Yes, but the green sometimes even has pinks in it, you know.
Exactly, and purples and blues.
Well, those are all of our entries.
Yeah, no, very successful. Sure, what a great challenge. I think just they all stepped up, and we had some very beautiful artworks.
Rentia, when I was speaking to Ina yesterday, she wanted to highlight an artist on here who she felt did a lot of improvement as far as her painting and the effort and that she put in. So I'd like to ask Ina if she will choose that winner, and I'll let you choose a winner as well. Ina, who was that lady that you spoke about?
Well, you know what? It's the one that Rentia and I both liked the most. It's Lois Fisher.
Yes.
Yes, that one.
So
a lot of lovely ones. But I just think this to me says lovely watercolor. It's a successful watercolor. I really like it.
And
okay, but then I've got a second one. So you choose her, and then I'll do the second.
Ina, why do you choose Lois Fisher?
Lois.
Okay, just look at each little pink petal of the flower. I mean, there's yellow, pink, blue, purple in every little petal, and some white ones, you know. So she's really taken it, she's really managed to achieve something special there, not just pink, not just one color, like a lot of the others did, you know. I love the softness, and in the front of the bottom petals, you see it goes bluish, where it goes, it's a colder color, where it goes towards the leaf, you know. I love that. And yeah, I just think it's beautiful. I love that one.
And if you look at the solid, cold background, that's offsetting those pinks and yellows, that's translucent. And I think that's the big trick of watercolor, is to get a little bit of opaqueness with your background, and then push your colors in your near your focal point, because I mean that's where the focal point is where all these colors come together, and it's just so successful.
It is really.
this is also the one with the most likes. So I think the sentiments are the same from everybody about Lois Protea that she's entered.
Yeah, I just want to say Lois has got an extended family. I think there's about 300 people in her family, and they're all on Facebook. So they're all voting. Yeah. Apparently, she's giving out free T-shirts and food packets, you know, little food parcels. So we just want to, well, we investigate.
So she mustn't get the one with the most likes. She must get it because it was really competently done.
Yes.
I agree.
Rentia, your choice.
Okay, I've got a problem. I've got Corinne Forbes, and then through Margie Curry. So that's Corinne Forbes and Margie Curry. Those two are neck and neck. But I think Corinne Forbes is Corinne. That's my favorite.
Why do you choose Corinne?
You can see she knows exactly what she's doing. She thought about the colors. There's a lot of variety in the greens of the leaves. You can see she pushed the yellows, and it's so successful. Nice soft edges, pushing against the hard edges. And then she also added quite a bit of siennas and yellow ochres to warm it up. So very successful. And like Ina said, the white of the paper is always, and I always battle to leave white. I don't know why. It's just, but it's very successful. And yeah, I'll give her a second place.
No, that's awesome. So at least we got different winners this week. The winners from last week. I see that Trudy's has got quite a lot of likes. So that's quite interesting, but it's nice that there's different people that are standing out from last week. It's not the same people standing out every single week. We've got our two winners for this, the watercolor challenge, the Protea watercolor challenge. And then we're going to have this by this afternoon, 5 p.m. We'll have our most likes. We'll pick that up as well. And then we'll mention them all officially tomorrow morning on the page.
Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to bounce back and chat. Rentia, you said you've been getting some feedback from a lot of people.
Yes, I think they were all very unsure what was going to happen with our challenge with Rentia, but you're doing such a sterling job, Graham. They're all very happy. They're excited. They're enjoying the challenges. They're looking forward to the Picasso one. I've been thinking about that one, and Ina has to do that one. Ina, you can't just star on the show for once and then disappear again. So you have to please do the Picasso. You have to do a self-portrait in Picasso style. So that's going to be a great one.
That'll be fun, yeah. Oh dear.
And so yeah, so we got our as you mentioned, we got our Picasso for next week. I think that's going to be very interesting. What's nice is that I'm actually learning quite a bit as we go along as well. I did a bit of research on Picasso and obviously put a lot of his self-portraits up over there. And it's quite interesting how his style changed from being a young guy with his more perfect portraits to eventually, as he got older, how he started depicting himself. I mean, there's one over there with like a piece of his head missing, and I'm like, I wonder what he was thinking at that part of his life, why he just decided not to, finish the rest of his head.
Well, you have to be a heavy drinker to paint yourself like that. But so I'll have a few glasses of wine before I paint that one. We've done Picasso. We did one challenge, and we also did a self-portrait in the Picasso style. And that was very interesting. But this is what I really like is you don't have to do the abstract portrait. You can do one of the stiffer, more realistic ones as well.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you, ladies, for your time. Thank you for chatting about the challenge. I think it was a very successful challenge. Nice Proteas. And
thank you, bro. Looking forward to the next one.
Yes, and then we're looking forward to the challenge with Ina and her watercolor. We'll
Yes,
chat more about that next week.
Yeah, I'm going to step up. I'm going to step up.
And the tips and insight that Ina has given us now, it'll be interesting to see if a lot of the artists put it towards the challenge with Ina.
Yes, I hope so.
Awesome. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you, Ina. Nice to see you. Bye,
lovely to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful
Bye.
paintings.